Do, 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 do. We are officially live, and happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on a Super Bowl Sunday here for another episode. But this is going to be a very special one here on Transformation Greatness, along with the Small Business Network podcast. I am your host here, Shawn A. White, and we have two very special guests that are in the house. As most of you guys know, I'm a part of many organizations. I do many different things, but this is an honor and a treat to be a part of the founders and creators of the National Association of Black Defenders Incorporated, also known as NAB. We have here, hailing all the way from the ATL, Georgia, the executive board members of this amazing establishment and organization. We have here Reverend Michael and First Lady Tammy McCorvey. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Doing fantastic. I know we got a lot to cover, so I definitely want to go ahead and dive right into that. But before we do, for all those that has catch us on the live, do us all a favor, if you will. If you're catching us right now on the live, put in hashtag live. Let us know exactly where you're tuning at. And if you should happen to be catching us on a replay, because of course you're out and about, you're relaxing, spending time with the family, put in hashtag replay. And also, if anything resonates with you in terms of this podcast, please feel free to put a comment as well. We love feedback. This helps us actually make the show better because it's not about us. It's not about us. It's about you guys and bringing more value. So with that being said, we have here the McCorveys in the house. And guys, I'm just so super excited. So I want to go ahead and jump into this. From the time that I've known you guys, and it hasn't been that long, but I see that you two are, I would say, agents of change. You are definitely individuals that is all about positivity and all about the good fight. But my listening audience don't have an iota of a clue of who you are. So just for the listening audience, if you can just tell us a little bit of who you are and a little bit of your background, if you will, if you don't mind.
Of course. First of all, we want to thank you, Brother for inviting us to the show. I believe it's an honor to have and to work with young men of your caliber. You bring a lot to the set, and we want to thank you for that. My name is Michael McCorvey. I am the executive director and founder of the National Association of Black Defenders. We have been working for 5 years now. We are human rights and social justice, environmental justice organization. We believe in fighting for the rights of the people and to that everyone has a voice. We believe in making that voice heard across the nation. We have several entities of the organization from human rights, environmental justice, social justice. We also have programs that cater to youth. We have programs that cater to fighting criminal justice reform as well as prison reform. We are as servants of the Lord in this battlefield. Many times we misunderstand the terms when it comes to human rights and civil rights. But today on this broadcast, we want to make it plain and make it simple, the difference between human rights and civil rights. We are grateful to have you a part of this because we all stand in awe of the need for more human rights activism to take place in this day and time. It's so very important. I was just watching the news on yesterday evening on YouTube where a black young man was being beaten by 5 white police officers in Biloxi, Mississippi. These are the type of things that we go after when it comes to our rights. Number one, we need to know our rights, and I want to tell you a little about our background when it comes to this fight. I am a JD premier student, post-university. We have over 17 attorneys across the country that work with the organization. We have offices as far over as the Philippines and as far under as all parts of the United States that work with us in partnership. We're here to fight for your freedom, your justice. We fight a lot of post-conviction cases, and those cases are the ones that's incarcerated and have no one else to speak for them. We are that voice. For those that have nowhere to go when they finish their time, we have transitional programs that Tammy and I have been working on. We are that voice for them. We try to get them in a situation that's going to be suitable for living, so that's hope, and NAB, we try, and that's short for the organization, National Association of Black Defenders, is NAB. We try to share that love and that hope to so many individuals that's walking in darkness. It's about walking in the light, and it's about opening up and allowing the world to know that we're not going to go along with police brutality. We're not going to go along with blacks being the last hired and the first fired. We're not going to go along with racism in the courtroom. We're not going to go along with discrimination on the job. We're not going to go along with what the world says a norm is not a norm, when it comes to your rights. And we are glad to have this opportunity to share with you, being that it is Black History Month. I feel very empowered to let our audience know that you have a team of people that will stand up for your rights. You have a team of people that will go all the way with you when it comes to your rights. And that's the National Association of Black Defenders.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, once again, welcome to a very special episode that we have here on Transformation Greatness, along with the Small Business Network podcast. We have here Reverend Michael McCorby and also First Lady Tammy McCorby, the executive board members from the National Association of Black Defenders Incorporated, also known as NAB. I have a question for the both of you, right? And I love that intro. That's a very, I would say, powerful intro. What inspired the both of you really to want to continue this work? Because based upon from what I have known you two, both of you two are very accomplished in your respective fields and careers. And you can decide to do anything else, but you guys decided to do the greater work in which that you mentioned. So what inspired you to say, you know what, this is what I want to do, and I want to dedicate my whole career or my whole life to that, knowing as far as that there can be many adversities or individuals that may kind of shy away from it or say, that sounds good, but I'll participate in the background. I don't want to be on the front line. So what inspires you guys to really want to do that? I'm very curious.
The way I would answer that is I didn't know I was even going to be in a situation like this. But however, I've always been a type person believe in justice. I've always been a type person who believe in equality. And I find that it's very interesting that there are so many people who do not know their rights. And because they don't know their rights, there are times when they feel like they don't have anyone to stand up for them. My natural career is I'm a special needs teacher. And one thing that I love about it the most is I'm in a position where I have to fight for the rights of the children that I serve. I have to make sure that they are treated fairly. I have to make sure they receive the proper education. I have to make sure that they receive the same services and benefits just like everybody else. So I think to do what we're doing, and even in the natural as it relates to my career, it has to be something that God calls a person to. Because when you doing something like this right here, you got to learn, you got to put on tough skin. You got to put your feelings where they may be, because there's really no room for just giving in and allowing yourself to be walked on and walked over. So I really feel like this right here is a passion of mine. I think it started from being just a school teacher. Like I say, I'm a special needs teacher, and that is my passion, is to fight for the rights of children who everybody else think do not have rights. So sometimes you can use those same principles with everybody else. They may not be special needs, but they still have a right to be right. They have a right to be heard. And I just feel like with what we're doing, you have to be called to do it, because everybody can't get on the front line, because everybody don't know how to take the bullets.
Powerful, powerful. And Rev?
Yes.
Yes.
And I
And
want
I
to
want to
piggyback on
piggyback
what
on what
Tammy just
Tammy just
said.
said.
You have to have a passion. You have to have a drive. And to us, it's a calling, to stand up and be heard, even when there's adversity. We are two that have fought adversity on the front line. And we know how to put on the full armor of God. And when it comes to adversity, and you better have on the full armor of God when it comes to adversity, because the bullets will come. And you need to know how to stand in times like these. It's not the easiest time that we have to stand in, but as long as you stand, I believe one of the biggest problems in the day, and Dr. King said it plain, is that we find a people that will not stand. We find a people that won't even stand up for their rights. If you don't stand for something, you will fall, Dr. King said it, for anything. And that's the type of world that we're living in now. People are falling for anything, and they will not stand up for what is right. So we're the foot soldiers, I call ourselves, that don't mind being on the battlefield, don't mind getting dirty for the sake of others, and as Tammy said, standing in the gap for our children. Right now, we have a massive fight when it comes to human trafficking. We want to stop human trafficking on every corner, because a lot of times it's our children that's being sold in the marketplace. There's our children that's being sold by the black market. It's our children that's being drugged down, and life is taken because of for body parts. I don't mind saying it. We have to stand for human trafficking. We have to stand in that gap for so many that's hurting right now. And that's what we are. We have to stand in the gap. So the National Association of Black Defenders, we are the organization that don't mind standing in the gap to bridge the gap for freedom and equality for all mankind.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Well said. And thank you for answering that question as well, for First Lady and Reverend McCorvey. For all those that, once again, if you're just tuning in, welcome once again to Transformation Greatness, along with the Small Business Network podcast. We have here Executive Board, very own from the National Association of Black Defenders Incorporated, also known as NAB. We have Reverend Michael McCorvey and First Lady Tammy McCorvey. Just want to say hello as far as to those that's actually joining in. We have here Roosevelt Russell. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have here my business partner from the Small Business Network, Dr. James McConnell himself. And you know what? So far, the audience is loving it. I'm seeing comments such as "You must stand." Dr. James is saying this is awesome. Bring equality, black defenders. And so I just believe that getting the message out there is very, very important. And I love how the way you guys frame that, because especially for us as a community at large, it's one thing to sit back and see the injustice, right? And you see everything as far as on what's happening. But it's another thing of just standing in the gap and just saying, you know what, enough is enough. And I'm going to take a stand for that. And that's very, very important, because how can we expect any kind of change whatsoever if we're not going to be the example, right? And I think too many times we wait on politicians and the higher ups that be, right, to really make that change and make that push. And I get it, because they have the power. But at the same token, though, last time I checked, is that this is democratic, country. So we, the people, we actually have the power, but we have to stand up for something, or guess what? We just going to continue to fall for anything. And how can you expect any kind of change whatsoever? So those are some great points. I want to go ahead and dive into the Equal Justice Summit, which this is something, you guys know me. I've been screaming about this to the rooftops, but I want you to really go more in detail. Let's really dissect this bad boy. What is the Equal Justice Summit? What does it entail? Who will benefit? And why should people even come out? Anyone, you beautiful people, can start.
Okay. Brother, we believe that this Equal Justice Summit 2024 is going to be the highlight of human rights when it comes to the battlefield of change. The Equal Justice Summit is going to be held at the King Center here in Atlanta, Georgia, where we have various speakers to talk about from affordable housing to human rights. That would be human right training for those that want to be human right consultants. We'll be training those in the human right training capacity. During the conference, we will be having advocacy for those that's facing legal problems right now. You can call on the National Association of Black Defenders, NAB. We will have advocacy workers at the conference that will be working the floor of the conference, that will be there to answer any questions that you may have. There will be attorneys on hand from the American Bar Association. We are a proud member. I'm the vice president of the ABA SEER Committee of the American Bar Association. They will be on hand to answer any legal questions that you may have when it comes to your rights as a citizen of the United States. There will be others to talk about. That would be my friend, Sister Gilbert, will be there to talk about financial advice to us, financial security for our community, and how can we become financially wealthy. She'll be on hand to talk about those subject matters. We're so excited about that. My friend and yours, Brother Shawn, will be there, and he'll be talking about to our youth about youth and how you can be a part of this great event. Our youth, really, we want to encourage our youth. That's what this conference is all about as well. We want to get them to be a great advocate of human rights. And this is the conference to come out. Bring your youth, bring your young people so they can experience human rights and human advocacy and where we go from here. One of the main things, too, is that it was so much that will go on at this conference that it would be to your advantage to be there, to grasp not only the entertainment of it. We will have Tony McPherson and the New Orleans Spiritualettes will be gospel singing at the conference. So you don't want to miss them. That's a treat for you. Yes, indeed. And we will have various speakers, various congressional leaders that will be a part of this conference. And we want to see you at the conference. That's 2024 Equal Justice Summit at the King Center, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Be in the place to receive your blessing.
Indeed. Folks, I truly believe that this is going to be historic in the making. This is not going to be just any event in which that you go and learn a few things and then you say, oh, okay, well, that was a nice event. And then you go about your day. I truly believe that with this 3-day event, when you bring out your family, heck, forget your family, your whole community. How about that? When you bring out your whole community, it's going to be life-changing, transformational stuff that's going to be happening. I truly believe that. I know it's going to happen. And it's one of those things that once we do the summit, this is really going to springboard into other great projects and things in which is going to happen. And so for the first, second, and third, that weekend is going to be so powerful. And I just highly encourage you guys really to attend. Yes. This is where I believe where a shift, if you will in fact happen. You know, a lot of times we look for shifts. We look for certain things to happen that can radically transform a person's life, a person's mindset. This event here, the Equal Justice Summit, and I'm not saying that just because I'm a part of it, but it's the absolute truth. And the amount of work that we done put into it to make this to be a fantastic event, it goes without saying, guys. And I really highly encourage you all to truly attend because you won't be disappointed. That's for certain. Yeah. And let's just say, for instance, now, if you say, well, you know what, I can't make it out to Atlanta. You know, I got commitments. I got other things going on. Totally fine. If you can leave a donation showing your support, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely fantastic. So I can tell you this, though. There is limited seating is in fact available. That I can definitely tell you. So now is definitely the time. I'm going to go ahead and put the website in so that way everybody can go. And we encourage you to go ahead and register. If this is something that you want to be a part of, definitely time is of the essence. Go ahead and do so. As soon as I drop that website in the comment section, invite your friends, invite your local leaders, invite your community. Let's show them that we're truly about making a difference, because again, it's not about us, right? It's about you, the community. It's about this beautiful country and nation in which that we're all a part of. And 2024 is that year, guys. You heard me been talking about that since December on our, respective platforms. But now it's definitely go time. Now it's definitely go time. So while I'm putting this in, Reverend and First Lady, do you guys have anything else in which you want to add?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go
I
first,
just
lady.
want to say that the summit is going to be very informative, and it's going to really mean a lot. We often hear this word, knowledge is power. So many times people want to make a difference in their area or certain things that they would like to do, and they don't always have the knowledge about it. So there are people all over the world that's more knowledgeable. So those people, some of those people are going to be at the summit and to impart things or to share things with us that we don't know. And I believe in order to make a difference in any capacity in life, you got to have strategy. And strategy comes with knowledge, and knowledge comes with power. So that's why I think the summit is going to be absolutely outstanding. Like Dr. McCorvey said, the different areas or topics that we're going to discuss and include, and especially the area with Brother Shawn talking to the youth, because the youth have so many issues in our day we didn't have before. They have all kinds of things just in their hearts, and I believe that just this summit is going to open the door for them to be able to really express themselves about things and to make a difference in their generation. Somebody got to lead the way, and somebody has to stand in the gap and not be afraid.
That's why for me, it really lands a special place in my heart, because when I was younger growing up, I really didn't have too many role models. I really, really, really didn't. And so a lot of stuff I really had to kind of figure out, but I always stayed in this, and this was one of my prayers when I was getting myself together mentally and emotionally and spiritually. And I said, God, if you can ever put me in a position where I can be able to speak to the youth, to the young adults, and really be able to provide value and show them that there's a better way of thinking, a better way of living, a better way of going about and doing things, then I will have both of my hands raised and just send me, right? I'm not even going to question it. And it just so happens with the Equal Justice Summit, I get an opportunity to be able to be, what's the word I'm looking for? To be really, to provide that service and to really create that impact. And that's what it's all about with our organization, right? With the Equal Justice Summit. It's about providing that impact and that value. I think sometimes, Reverend McCorvey and First Lady, that people may feel like, well, what can I do? I'm just little old me, right? I don't have the connections. I don't know, X, Y, and Z, right? I don't have the NBA, the mega fat bank account, right? So what can I do? And I just believe that it starts with just one person. One person has the courage and the conviction to really be able to provide value and share their gifts and talents. And what happens then, now another person becomes inspired.
Right.
Then they want to be able to do the same thing. And then another, and then another, and then another. And before you know it, now you have a multitude of people that are actually see the vision, right? And now they have a sense of hope that, you know what? If they can do it, then I can do it too.
Right.
If they're adding value, I can add value too. And that's where I believe it all begins and ends. It really does, as far as with us. Anything you guys want to add on that?
I just believe you were saying that you always wanted to be in a position where you can really help the youth because of things that happen to you. And the beauty of it is the Bible says that a man's gift will make room for him. So even at this point in your life, the gift that's inside of you to even work with you, because everybody cannot work with children. That's my gift, is to work with children. And so, but it's beautiful how at this particular point in time, how the doors are open for you to impart into children. And I just believe they'll never be the same. You know, it's a lot of children of all nationalities. Don't necessarily have to be African American. Of not all nationalities have had the same issues growing up without feeling like nobody was there to support them or undergird them. But God is so good that He knows how to meet us where we are. And so I just believe that even the children that will come to this summit, I believe in my heart, every person that shows up at this summit is the people that has been ordained of God to show up. There would not be a person there that God did not call there, and nobody will leave the same. That's what I really believe as it relates to this summit.
Is that Tommy said that one of the things that we're going to do, Shawn, is we're going to change it from just a youth program to a youth explosion. This is going to be an explosion for our young people, a youth explosion. You know, they're going to come, their life's going to be changed. Like she said, they're going to leave with a different feeling inside about life, a different direction, sense of direction through this youth explosion by the Equal Justice Summit. So we're excited about just laying out the platform and being a part of something greater than ourselves.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I believe this has been an excellent podcast. And by the way, folks, we're actually going to be doing a whole lot more of these. So this is not the first time that we've been talking about the Equal Justice Summit. I mean, definitely as we get closer, and which we're just a few weeks away, we're going to be revving up even more. So these beautiful faces that you see right here, believe me, you're going to be seeing them a whole lot more. Reverend McCorvey and First Lady McCorvey, how can others get a hold of you?
All right. Get a hold of us. You can go online, the program will be even, right? .com/Equal Justice Summit. But also you can call us at any time. Our DC line is 202-674-6428 or 202-559-8589. Or you can email us at nab@lobbyist.com. That's NABD@lobbyist.com.
Excellent. And almost forgot too. I believe we have a magazine called American Lifestyle. Would you like to share on that?
Awesome. Yes, American Lifestyle is our magazine of the organization. We talk about cultural diversity. At the same time, we are a magazine open to the lifestyle of the American family. Clean, fun, enjoyable magazine that you can also become a part of. So we're always looking to put people inside of our American Lifestyle magazine. So, Brother Shawn, we want to just open up and let the public know that you can have your picture, have your face in the place when it comes to American Lifestyle.
Absolutely. Well done. Well done. Well, folks, we're almost done here. I'm just trying to take a look and see if there was like any other particular comments or like nothing else came into the fold. So before we go ahead and wrap this up, Reverend McCorvey, First Lady, do you guys have any final words before we go ahead and close it out?
We just want to say that we appreciate all those that listen, and we're excited about those that will attend. We just want to say that it's going to be life-changing. So we really want to encourage you to come to the summit. It's going to be well worth the travel, well worth all the activities that's involved. And like I said earlier, knowledge is power. And I just believe that all those that are coming will be people who will be imparted things to take with them to make a difference in whatever God is calling them to. You know, knowledge is power. And where there's a lot of prayer, there's a lot of power. Where there's no prayer, there's no power. So when we come together, I believe that together we can make a difference in the world.
Well, folks, you have definitely heard it first here from Transformation Greatness, along with the Small Business Network podcast. I want to thank our very special guests here, Reverend McCorvey and First Lady Tammy McCorvey, for coming on here. I can tell you guys it's you know, it's so huge. I really can't put it into words. But again, If you want to come, and we highly recommend it, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2024, beautiful downtown Atlanta, the Equal Justice Summit at the King Center. Come out, show out, have a lot of fun, be informed, and most importantly, transformed, because that's what it's all about. Until then, we appreciate you all. We're going to end this segment like we do pretty much all about others. And if what we stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person, then may God be the glory. We take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, you're all amazing. Enjoy the rest of your Super Bowl Sunday. By His grace and mercy, look forward to seeing you all on the next episode. Have a blessed one.
God bless.
Thank you.